So everybody's talking about Godfrey now and that African actor. He was on the Kabir Banja Miller show, that 5450 show, and they was talking about the African Americans and the Caribbean and the Africa and the African diaspora, right? And movie roles. And for years we've been complaining and talking about immigrants coming to America and taking our movie roles. Now, you had some people that understand our plight and understand what we're saying, because there was a period of time when we fought for immigrants to come here where we can boast up our numbers and we can be strong to fight against W supremacy, right? And for a while it worked, but even back then, if you go back 100 years ago, A. Philip Randolph, who was a restrictionist, he also spoke out against this. This is nothing new, right? A. Philip Randolph spoke out against the West Indian and the African that was coming here and was saying, yo, they got to come here and get citizenship and be a part of what we doing, or they the enemy, right? Unfortunately, that's what was said. But on this show, I often say that it's one way, because they're coming to our country where we've been fighting to get rights and fighting to get things done, and the piece of the pie is very small, and they're coming in and getting a piece of the pie. And pan-Africanism is just one way. It's for us to share everything we have. And if we have a problem with sharing, we become the problem. Listen to what I'm saying. We're not going to Nigeria or to Guyana or Panama, all these different places, right? They're coming here. But the thing is, we got to share. We got to open up. We got to give the things that we fought for, right? And if we voice our opinion to anything, we're being divisive. So Pan-Africanism is only one way. It's set to benefit all groups but us, right? But let's get off into what was said on this show, and then we'll come right back.
Way better and way more powerful together than we are apart. Yes. And I truly think so much of that mindset is born out of insecurity. You never see them coming after a Brit playing that kind of role when it's a failure. It's only when it's a success. If there's box office and if there's awards, then is the time where you go, I want a piece of that. Well,
and see, that's disrespectful. That's a disrespectful comment. We only complain when it's a success. First of all, we've been playing these movie roles in this thing whether it was successful or non-successful. No, we've been complaining, period, because we know that the dominant society, these W folks, is using you as a buffer against us. You come here, first thing you do is go get a W woman or a W husband, and you start talking down and negative about us, right? But then come camouflaging and acting as if you are with us, and you're not. We've seen it. This is what we're calling it out. So the Roland Martins and all them trying to make it seem like they want to bring up these historical references. These people are not their great grandparents, right? These people come here and they can't wait to get a W wife or a W husband and ingratiate themselves into their culture, right? They're not coming here learning our culture, our history, and our ways, right? They're coming, man. Let's listen some more.
Let's collaborate. So that's why I get everyone to the house. Yeah. Where we have those conversations. Andre Holland, brilliant actor, trained. Coleman Domingo, brilliant. I've seen that dude on stage. The success he's being afforded is absolutely warranted. It's the work. I was looking for community. And to be perfectly honest, I met a lot of African-American actors who, as I started to gain a bit of success, I could tell they felt threatened by my presence, by what I was being afforded, that they felt they should be being afforded.
Now, you said you can feel that, but this is where Godfrey's supposed to come in and speak. Why? We've been fighting in this country forever to get these little pieces of the pie. You left where you came, so now we have to just open up and just ingratiate everybody while we get replaced and be happy about it. Don't say anything about it. We're supposed to just love it. Right? Because this is pan-Africanism, right? Pan-Africanism is set only to benefit the other groups.
Oh, man. And I was terrified because I had just now been afforded the opportunity to play Oprah Winfrey and Forrest Whitaker's son in The Butler. It was a very juicy role. I stood there Cuba Gooding's over there, Terrence Howard's over there, like all these actors. And I was just like, oh boy, am I gonna be okay? Right. We link arms like Jewish people do, like Chinese people do.
Hell yeah.
Like if we do that rather than fixating on the fact that, yeah, we have a smaller piece of the pie, we do. And as a result, when a Black Brit gets that role, what we're talking about is not acting. We're not talking about the art of acting. We're talking about scarcity. We're talking about the fact that there's not much pie. So when someone gets it.
Right. There's not much pie, but you're not from here. You guys didn't create the pie in the country that you come from. So now you go to a place where there's vast opportunities for other groups, but the pie is still slim here for Black Americans. And you come here now as a Black person and you're infringing on that. And then if we say something, we're wrong.
It's like you're now taking a piece that makes me feel like I can't access that piece.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that with white British actors.
Now he's comparing us to white British actors. Of course you don't have that with them. This is their system. That's why you had to leave the UK.
In the Hollywood constellation, because the pie is vast.
So do you think like when Juski goes out there and he does that whole skit that's gone viral? It's funny.
Yeah.
Where he's the British guy, he goes out there. And does that kind of add fuel to the fire? Because I mean, it's a thing. You're starting to hear more and more of it.
Yeah.
And it's why we started 154. Like, it's to bring all of it. This one continent, 54 countries, but really it's bigger. It's one diaspora that's centered around who we are as people. But yet there's these micro fractures of, but they're from the UK or they're from, they're immigrants from Africa.
Yeah. My thing is, I have adopted the stance of I have to let my work do the talking. There's many things in the world that I don't like, that I don't agree with, but my answer to that,
to the Juski
thing, is to start a streaming platform with an African American like Nate Parker. When you look at Black Panther, it is.
But even Nate Parker, all these people like to talk all this black stuff, blackity black and black and black, y'all with the fist. And about racism and W supremacy and the opportunities they couldn't get. But as soon as they get opportunity, they go get a W wife. They don't even love a Black woman enough to even want to marry one. They don't even love the Black family enough to even want to create one. Right? That's why I don't take these people serious. They talk that blackity black and they don't have the opportunities, but you giving opportunities of wealth to a W woman. Like, this stuff is a joke. It's a joke. Now, if they wasn't talking this black stuff, I wouldn't care. But because you're talking this black stuff and opportunities for folks, why is the mayonnaise with the blonde? Oh man,
Chadwick, and it is Michael B. But it's also Daniel Kaluuya and Letitia Wright.
That's right.
That's what it looks like when it goes supernova.
Yeah.
Ryan understands that. Ryan Coogler called me before he was about to make a Black Panther because he knew I had connection to the culture that he was about to show in his film. And he humbly asked advice because he needed me. I need him. Michael, the same. Like I was with Michael the other day. We those of us who get it, we are sharing in the way that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Casey Affleck and George Clooney and Brad Pitt. You think that success is based on them being silos? Absolutely not. Yeah. They are sharing secrets. They are sharing strategy. They are sharing films with each other, which is what I tried to do with Bass Reeves, bringing in people who are like, yeah, you don't know them, but I do.
No.
Now, if you are telling me that how dare I spend 10 years trying to get Bass Reeves made?
But you trying to play Bass Reeves, but you know nothing about Bass Reeves. You don't carry the spirit, right, of a foundational Black Americans whose experience here in this country shaped and molded who we are today. You don't understand that. So, like, you're speaking from arrogance.
How dare I bring Ava DuVernay to come in and direct Selma and get that from me? If that's what you're saying, think about that for a moment. Just think about what may not exist if you don't have people who are, dare I say it, built different. Ava is built different. Coleman is built different. Ryan is built different. There are people, Idris Elba is built different in relation to action.
So first of all, when you use the term built different, there's a reason why your black ass is here in America, because you saw the people that was built different and was moving different and was manifesting. You saw it all.
Actually getting stuff made. Now, if you're going to begrudge that rather than go.
And you hear what he said? Built different that was actually getting stuff made. We created the platforms for you to get stuff made. That you only getting stuff made because W supremacy is trying to replace us with you. But this is the arrogance of these people and why my brother Alonzo is going to break this down.
Let me reach out and figure out what are Nate and David doing over there, and how
y'all marrying W women. That's what you're doing.
What is this diaspora embracing notion that you guys are talking about, as opposed to me now beginning to internalize some kind of ridiculous, what do they call ADOS or whatever?
That's like my foundational black.
Now y'all saw what Godfrey just did, right? You see the fakeness of Godfrey? The fakeness of Godfrey. Now all of a sudden ADOS is a problem.
Yeah. But it proliferates.
Now FBA is a problem.
Yeah, it does.
It proliferates. You look at what is happening with nationalism, you know, the rise of the Reform Party in the UK. You look at why we have some of the political circumstances we have here in America. It starts like this. It starts with people feeling.
So the thing, this is the thing. Let me pause this real quick. I want to bring this into the play, because the thing is this. He just told you everything. He just told you everything that you needed to hear, right? Real fast. Let's bring this in. Let's reshare. My fault. Because what he just did was he just explained everything in a nutshell, right? When they spoke and had a problem with ADOS, and FBA and all these different groups. Now he had to apologize because he came under fire, right? He came under extreme fire for his comments, right? So now, because FBA started firing back at him, right? So now he came out and he's saying this now. He's saying this. I want to apologize reservedly to all those who were rightfully offended by my comments on 154 Africa podcast regarding Southern accents. It was the wrong thing to say, and it is not how I feel. Why the hell you say it? I have nothing but deep respect and great love for black people of all kinds, especially those from American South. Reducing a dialect born from the richness and resilience of Black Southern culture to anything less was careless and wrong. No, it's the way it goes with the way that you view us, right? All I truly care about is lifting up my Black brothers and sisters from all places through my work, my words. Please forgive my failure to do that in this instance, right? So he came, he came under extreme fire for his comments. Now, Alonzo, who was Panamanian, right? Black Panamanian, Afro Latino, right? He came out and he really said some real powerful stuff and broke this down, man. And I love this brother because he's been speaking this way for some time, right? So let's get off into what Alonzo said, and then we'll come right back. Let's look at what this brother said.
With you, growing up in DC, in the area that I grew up,
right,
and the era, the area and era, I was always proud of my Blackness, first and foremost, and that's how I identify myself in the world, and that's how the world identifies me when they see me without me opening my mouth. And if you look at my block and my friends and my circle and everything that raised me outside of the four walls of my home, it was always Black culture, African American culture.
Which is your culture.
That's my culture. And I will always represent that with the utmost respect.
I want y'all to pay attention. Listen to what he about to say. This is the difference. This is the difference between a tether and a person that's not a tether. Watch this.
Class, and homage, any way that I can honor the history that has given me an opportunity to shine. Because one thing that I don't feel is explained enough to all immigrants is that no one would have rights in this country had it not been for African Americans' sacrifices and struggle during the civil rights movement. Not one immigrant would have any rights to look forward to if Black people didn't put their bodies and their lives on the line. And I always wonder why, you know, in order to become a U.S. citizen, you have to take a citizenship class and then pass a citizenship exam.
Listen.
And I never understood why.
Wait a minute. Now, hold on. I want y'all to listen to what he's about to say. And I hope my young brother Black Alpha get this and he play this. I hope Afro Elite gets this. I hope all my brothers out there and sisters, excuse me. My sisters too get this and they play this. This is the difference between a tether and a rider, right? Let's get back to it.
Why? Well, I understand why.
Yeah.
But I can't believe that part of that citizenship test does not include the civil rights movement.
Well,
because every immigrant that comes to this country, I know I'm going way left.
I love this. You know, you're in my wheelhouse,
Listen,
bro. You let it fly.
Every immigrant that steps foot in this country, no matter what country you're from, should know that the reason why the opportunities that exist for me and my family in this country and why I left my country to come here is because Black people bled for this and fought for this. I couldn't vote in my country, but I can vote here. Why? Black people.
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like sometimes there are clashes within cultures.
Yes.
And there is tension and a lot of negative stereotypes that are adopted by many immigrants that come to this country.
Sure.
Will be dispelled right at the root if they knew that these opportunities exist because the very people that you are being taught to look down on.
Yeah. Well, again, it's what you mentioned about the citizenship test and the preconditioning before you step foot on any of the soil of the United States, down to the history books that we're given, that come to find out those were tainted and designed for us to learn a certain structure of what the American legacy is, and all of those things. Like, so, I mean, ignorance is what drives control.
Correct.
So if I have millions of people that don't know any of those things, and you're dangling the golden carrot in front of everybody and allowing them to pursue this quote unquote American dream, which I don't know what the hell that is.
Right.
You're distracted. And it's never changed. It's just been the way the system and
So I hope, as I said before, I hope my brother's Black Alpha, man. Shout out to Black Alpha, the young guys, man. Afro Elite and the sisters. I hope they get this video. Because this video is very important. And like he said, when they come here to get citizenship, like, you know, they gotta study. They gotta take classes, and they're not teaching the civil rights movement. They're not teaching these immigrants where they got their actual rights from, right? And this is something I will have to ask the Democratic Party. Wait a freaking minute. So you mean to tell me when Joe Biden was the president, when Bill Clinton was the president, when Barack Hussein Obama was the president, they didn't sign an executive order to make sure that this happens, where when immigrants come here and they come into Black communities amongst people, they know who these people are? You mean to tell me that they didn't do that, right? So shout out to the brother Alonzo, man, because he's been speaking his way for a long time, right? For a very long time. And he's been giving props to FBA for a very long time. He's definitely not a tether. He took the responsibility and had enough respect to learn the culture of the people that was here before him and how he got the rights, the people that look like him, right? But Tariq Nasheed, he also spoke about this, right? He also, he came and he gave his opinion. Hold on a second. I got it queued up. He also came and he gave his opinion about this situation. Let's get off into that.
And you slow it down. You put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it.
You put a little bit of subservience in it. What the hell? See, this is why. This is the disconnect. He didn't even know better to not even say some stupid stuff like that. But he want to play Bass Reeves. He want to be the dude to play Bass Reeves. Now he's saying stuff he got to apologize for.
This is what starts to happen to the Nigerian accent.
Man.
It goes this because literally, if you're down here and you start to speed it up, and then you start to take all the thing out of it, then before you know it, you're talking like this.
Now we are free again.
Now we are free. We are released.
Hey, that was a smooth transition.
You see that?
Damn.
You have to study it. You have to study it.
You usually
no.
I do a Southern accent.
No, the way he just did that whole thing. Go ahead.
Clear your throat. You know when you.
No. I gotta stay in my lane on that one.
Okay. A black dude from L.A.
Easy now.
Yes.
Easy now.
Yes.
Easy now.
A black dude. Are you from
Just
LA?
say cuz.
Born and raised in L.A.
So after
Crenshaw.
So I've got to be like you.
Nah.
Well, I don't represent Cass.
Definitely don't want
I speak too proper, so
I don't know. That's too loose.
You gotta be like cuz.
Cuz.
Hold on.
And get in the car, cuz. Get in the car, cuz. The car, man. I was in the car.
And we don't overemphasize like that.
You say core.
No, we don't say. We say
you say for and core. Get in the core. It's not that for.
we do not.
You're gonna be a store.
I can't match that. That's too specific for me. I would need my
It
dialect
depends
coach
on where
for that.
you are in LA.
Exactly. Exactly.
I just hang around Snoop, so I'd be like,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's real Snoop.
you talking about cuz?
Yeah, that's real
Hell
Snoop.
yeah, cuz.
What I saw, did y'all see this clip with actor David Oyelowo? He was on that clip, One Africa something, I forgot. They get a lot of these because they're foreign guys who do that podcast. And they had actor David Oyelowo on there. And he was responding, I think, to the Drewski skit. Drewski did a very funny skit about how British actors come over here and do Black American roles. So a lot of the British actors, they kind of felt a certain way about it. A lot of them felt a certain way about it. And David Oyelowo, who's Nigerian British, he was critical of it. He tried to say, hey, we're all a part of we're the same thing. They're trying to use these Pan-African talking points, saying that, hey, we shouldn't be in competition with each other, whoop-de-whoop. And what we're saying, listen, race is not lineage. Sharing a similar complexion globally don't mean you share the specific localized history and culture and the ancestral trauma of foundational Black Americans. That whole we are all one rhetoric, usually that's weaponized against us for economic.
That's weaponized against us because it's only one way. It's only set up to benefit them. And we have to be the burden bearers of it. So now our people fight for it, and we're fighting for stuff that's slim pickings. And then they use you as a buffer to replace us, and you come here talking about our language is a slowed down, subservient Nigerian dialect. Like you making stupid comments like that, coming here running to put your nose up into some W cooch, right, from behind, right? That's what you doing, right? So we see y'all a mile away, man. Y'all on a program. That's why Alonzo said what he said.
From a convenience. You know, they use that to justify crossing cultural lines to get Hollywood paychecks. But people ignore the distinct spiritual and historic boundaries that define foundational Black American lineage. And people, listen, there's some good British actors out there. There's some good British actors. But listen, there's more of an authenticity when people are playing historic roles. You know what I'm saying? People are not just jumping out the window when we bring that up. There's a difference between lived nuances and trained techniques. There's a difference between performing a role and embodying a lineage. You know, an actor can go to a drama school and master the mechanics of a Southern drawl and memorize the script, but you can't learn the spiritual nuances of a foundational Black American in an acting class. The specific cadence, the nonverbal communication, the rhythm of the walk, the humor, the ancestral weight carried in the eyes. See, these are tangible things that's passed down through a specific bloodline. See, that's a living, breathing energy. That's not a technical skill you can put on like a costume. That's why a lot of our foundational Black American actors, when they do roles, it hits different. Like when Denzel did Malcolm, that shit hit different. Even Denzel said, hey man, some of this shit, it was like a spirit coming through me. I was just going and it was like a spirit going through me. Because again, Brother Denzel grew up out there in New York when Malcolm was out there. You understand? And in a lot of these films, when you have some of these foreign actors, there's a spiritual deficit that's not there. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual energy isn't there. Even when David Oyelowo, when he did Dr. Martin Luther King, that wasn't really memorable. And we're gonna be honest. Let's be in the movie Selma. That wasn't a memorable role. You know, even when Cynthia Erivo played Harriet Tubman, Cynthia Erivo's Nigerian, that wasn't a memorable role. The technical acting might be there, but the spiritual energy is absent. You understand? Dr. King, Harriet Tubman, they were motivated by a very specific spiritual ancestral fire and a blood-soaked connection to the soil. Because these people don't come from the lineage, they can't capture that essence that made those people iconic.
But this is why he was on there and he was talking the way that he was talking about some insecurities and jealousies. He can't see or understand why foundational Black Americans feel the way they feel. He's not even smart enough to realize he's talking this Black stuff, but he's coming with a W wife. He's trying to link up with Nate Parker, who has a W wife, but they want to do all this Black stuff, right? It's actually an insult. He doesn't understand the bloodline, the spiritual essence of the culture. He doesn't understand the struggle, the sacrifice, the commitment. He doesn't understand that. So how do you plan the Dr. King? No, family, no. But let's proceed more.
You understand? And we see it in the box office, man. The box office power of lineage-based authenticity, you can't deny that. Look, David Oyelowo, he hasn't had no big breakout, blockbuster, financially viable films, to be honest. Yeah, and Cynthia Erivo, she's in big films now. She has to play a goddamn green witch. You know, when she plays, you got to play something like that and like Wicked. Okay, yeah. But David Oyelowo, he hasn't had no big blockbuster film. He's a cool actor, but listen, we see what happens when you put foundational Black Americans in FBA-centered roles. Our good brother Michael B. Jordan with the Creed franchise and Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, whose lineage goes down to Mississippi. We see how massively successful that was. That was FBA themed. The spirit was there. The energy was there.
So, and that's the whole thing. People tune in when you put these people in these roles, they're not really like blockbuster unless you have a lot of us in the movie because people are tuning in to see us. I will say this: there's some great actors from across the pond, right? Some great actors, great, sensational. But the thing is, this is why we have to get into ownership and own our own stuff so we can control the narrative of how the roles are disseminated. I don't have a problem with them coming playing roles, but I don't think that they should play the iconic roles. Like nobody should be fanning Lou Hamer. That's not a foundation of Black American, right? Ella Baker, Dr. King, Harriet Tubman, Amaretta Ross. Nobody should be playing them, but FBAs, because it goes to our blood is soaked in the soil here of America. That's like me going over to Nigeria and they're replacing a Nigerian with me to play an iconic Nigerian. The people there will have a problem with that. So we're finding out that Pan-Africanism is only set up, y'all only want it one way. It benefits y'all. There's no benefit to us because we're not coming to Africa. You guys are coming here and crowding the room up. And when we're saying, yo, it's getting to be too many people in the room, we becoming a problem. So Pan-Africanism is only a benefit to you. Y'all only want it one way. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.